Hello, everybody. On this episode of the podcast, we will be talking about solar energy. This episode is not meant to sell you on solar energy nor convince you that solar energy is bad. I believe at this point in time, science has enough evidence showing at some point we will need a clean, renewable source of energy. So my goal isn't to establish that thought any further. However, I do think that a lot of people who are supportive of solar energy do not understand why we can't just nosedive into the ocean of energy that is solar. First, I want to explain what is good about solar energy, just in case there's anything you're not aware of already. And one of the biggest reasons we are looking into solar energy is because of the multiple problems with fossil fuels. A majority of energy is currently produced from fossil fuels, which have extremely high carbon emissions. These emissions will continue to heat the earth and cause irreversible damage. And I'm sure we are all aware of global warming and how fossil fuels are one of the largest contributors to greenhouse gases. Not only that, but fossil fuels are not forever. There's a limited source of fossil fuels. However, solar energy is forever, technically. The sun could live for billions more years, which relative to us, and I'm not talking about just me and you, but humanity itself is pretty much forever. Sorry to ruin the ending, but chances are humans won't live for a billion years. Another positive of solar energy is that once you have solar powering your house, facilities, car, and anything else that requires electricity, you won't have an electricity bill. All your power will come from the sun and the batteries that will hold that power. Is it storming and you're worried that your neighborhood's power might go out? Don't be. There's no power grids that are easily exposed to storms. Instead, it's a battery full of energy that's been waiting for this moment by collecting power every day. Now, I could sit here and talk about how perfect solar energy is and how it can end up saving humanity, and I'm sure you're already pumped for solar, wondering why we aren't making a bigger push before we run out of time. At least I hope that's what you're thinking, because that's what I'd like to talk about next. As amazing as solar energy is and will be, it isn't as easy as placing solar panels everywhere and reaping the benefits. The cost of solar panels is one of the bigger factors holding us back. For us to become fully solar, it will take homeowners purchasing their own solar energy. As great as it would be for the government to have the money to supply everyone with solar panels, that just isn't realistic. Although to help push for solar, they can help people who are not able to buy solar panels because of their financial situations. You might think that it isn't worth it, considering solar panels can range from thousands of dollars to $10,000s of dollars, depending on the quality. However, you're most likely currently paying for electricity right now. The difference is you're paying a lot of money up front, and then you have electricity forever. Not to mention you'd be saving the earth at the same time. Let's say cost is no longer a problem. Everyone who couldn't buy solar panels got help from the government, and everyone who could buy them did. There is still the matter of making all those solar panels. To make all those solar panels, we're going to need to have to generate a large amount of energy. Sadly, the only thing that could produce that much energy as of right now are fossil fuels. One idea is we could use the solar panels we do have to create energy to make more solar panels. This would mean solar energy would be exponentially increasing and we wouldn't need to use fossil fuels. However, this would take a very long time, even with the exponential growth. The other option is to use a large amount of fossil fuels to create these solar panels. However, this has the negative effects we discussed earlier, like carbon emissions and pollution. The idea of trying to do it as clean as possible, or just using a ton of fossil fuels in hopes we don't damage the earth too much, is yet another thing holding us back. Another problem holding us back is how easily solar panels can be damaged. The best place to put solar panels are up in an open place like a roof. Sadly, this is also where hail likes to land and where wind can easily blow things. Because of that, depending where you live, you could have to get solar panels fixed or even replaced every season. If we can make some way for solar panels to not be damaged by these things, or make it rare, then it wouldn't be a problem. But as of right now, solar panels just sit out in the open. Another complication is that solar only gets energy during the day and gets less energy when it's very cloudy. While this can be fixed with a large battery to save the energy from a very sunny week for a few stormy days, if you live in a place where you almost never see the sun during certain times of the year, you could run out of stored energy. The final problem, which could be the biggest of them all, some people rather not have solar panels because they look ugly on their roof, or they think they're too expensive, or they don't believe in global warming. There are a multitude of reasons why someone might not be supportive of solar. After that last discussion, it may have sounded like I was against solar energy. I can assure you I am 100% not against solar energy, and I wasn't trying to get you to like it or dislike it. The main purpose of this episode was to explain why we can't just do solar energy, that there are many reasons why we can't reach that perfect source of energy just yet. And that wraps up about everything I wanted to talk about. All my sources will be in the description, and that's it.